Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today, as it's two very exciting to watch bots. We have got Sharkbot, recently-ish returned. And it was sorely missed because it's one of the bots with the most flair. And of course, it's a little chatty too. And taking on Sharkbot is going to be WickedBot. These two have the potential for what should be a great matchup. I think Sharkbot will be a great test for WickedBot, as it can be pretty lethal at times with some of its cheeses, its late game play, and we'll just see whether WickedBot's multitasking that it's so good at will be able to bring down Sharkbot. So, ladies and gentlemen, seeing as how we're getting a second command center, if we can get 2 likes on this video, that would be amazing. Leave a comment down below saying more bots if you want to see more of these bot matches. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and consider becoming a YouTube member if you want to support the channel, or there's other links to do that down below. Support is appreciated, and who knows, maybe one day we'll get the stream up to 4K. A lot of you guys ask in the description for 1440p videos, which I'd certainly do, but it's one of those things, you know, if you go to upgrade your PC, just logistically, it's like, okay, you're going to get new monitors, so then you need a new GPU, so then you potentially need a new motherboard or a new power supply. And I'm not the kind of person who goes out to buy new things just for the sake of having them. Like, I'm pretty content, clearly, playing StarCraft 2, an older game, and that's the beauty of being someone who plays older games. It's not just StarCraft 2 that I play old games like Stronghold, Age of Mythology, Rome Total War, those kind of games. And that's one of the nice things. Someone will ask me, hey, want to play this new game? I'm like, because I do know that if I do play a newer game, well, for starters, they're very expensive, and I don't want to spend money on new games necessarily when old games there's a lot of mileage left in them, and they'll never really get old. StarCraft 2 is a prime example of that. And it's just one of those things. It's like, no, I'm pretty happy playing my older games on my older setup till it runs into the ground anyway. And it's one of those things. I like to use things till they break. I've wanted a new TV for years, and I'm actually kind of happy because our TV just randomly died, and I'm like, awesome! Now I can buy a new one, you know. And people who do like to wait till things break before replacing them will relate with that. But enough of that little rant. Not much has been going on this game. We're getting an early charge out of Sharkbot. In previous matches I cast of Sharkbot on the stream, it went for way too much tech and was too greedy in that regard. It got up like a Stargate, Twilight Council, Robo, all that stuff, and didn't make enough units. So it kind of got bopped. Hopefully it doesn't do that in this game. Meanwhile, WickedBot just doing its thing. Getting up the bio, getting up stim. We could have some drops in a PvT bot versus bot matchup, which would be very exciting. And then we have got, Sharkbot adding in lots of ground units, getting up a decent stalker count, 4 stalkers, working 2 more, charge on the way, and a 3rd nexus going up. So a rather safe macro build, I'll say. Like, this is a 3 base charge before 3 gateway charge before 3rd nexus build, which is definitely later than the 3rd could be. But I think Sharkbot will be pretty happy to have that charge once WickedBot does move out with its bio. At the same time, who knows how effective these charge lots are going to be, as the bio is like, in theory, with bot micro, it can just kite against those zealots, target fire them down, that kind of thing, greatly reduce their efficiency. And that's why this is going to be a great match here between these two, I feel. It's been incredibly passive so far. I don't think either bot has scouted, so... Or, pardon me, Sharkbot did go for a little bit of a probe scout. And then we have got Combat Shield on the way for WickedBot. No eBays researching yet. Upgrades are something that's very important to keep an eye on. We're getting a Templar Archives up for Sharkbot. That is a nicely timed progression of the tech, though, like getting charge and then using the Twilight to get up a Templar Archives. That's really nice. I have no idea why Sharkbot didn't do this in the previous matches I cast of it. Like it just totally overinvested in tech, so I'm very glad to see that it's not doing that. It's got a really nice ground army for now. There's a probe moving around to scout out, it looks like. WickedBot is getting ready for its first big move out, though. It's going to be Gateway units versus Stim Bio. Sharkbot does have a sentry. Hallucinated Archon gets called in, and WickedBot immediately nopes on out of there, lifting up the units it can, abandoning many of the Marines to their death. Sharkbot holds on very nicely there as WickedBot just sees, hey, this Protoss has been spending the past 6 minutes building units and not just being incredibly greedy, something like that. We are now seeing a lot of tech go up for Sharkbot. Psystorm, Dark Shrine, Stargate. We'll see which one of these it will actually use. And this is what I'm talking about with Sharkbot. It's getting up a robo, too. That is way too much tech to invest in all at once. And, yeah, like, it was doing well, making all of these units, and now it's like tech, tech, tech. It's quite bizarre, to be honest. I think it was even a worse offender in other games that I cast. And so that genuinely may be something the bot author wants to look at. Like, it's too much, man. Like, getting all the tech, it's fine. It's cool to see a bot that can build up all this functionality. At the same time, this is leaving Sharkbot pretty wide open. Like, these buildings are not cheap. And in comes WickedBot going for a drop of the natural. We are getting batteries and cannons built by Sharkbot. Sharkbot isn't responding to this drop. It's not really bringing any units back, as its army is quite scattered right now, as it was trying to move out with a Prism. And, yeah, this drop is hitting the natural. Zealots do come in to finally respond to this. There's a Phoenix being zoned out by Marines, though. Phoenix lifts up a poor Marine. Very cool to see. I think there will eventually be enough here for Sharkbot to clean this up. Sharkbot has been getting busy, poking around. We do see a DT actually out on the map, so WickedBot tags detection, so it's not just going to get killed by those DTs. Sharkbot is getting up. I believe that's observer speed. It's getting out a Colossi as well. Blink on the way now too, but its mining has greatly been reduced with this natural base basically being taken offline for the past minute with this continuous drop by WickedBot. There is a decent number of Stalkers, Zealots to skirmish against this. WickedBot targeting down batteries as they get built. The DTs are really nice defensive tools for Sharkbot, though, in this situation. And so it does look like Sharkbot will hold on, but for now, the blue Protoss is not in a great spot. WickedBot responded appropriately upon seeing the DTs by building these turrets. It's now getting a fourth base up. We have a drop going off in the main base now. A heavily oversaturated main base. I'm not sure what these probes are trying to do, but they do need to get on out of there. Tech is being unpowered. Sharkbot is just getting pulled apart by WickedBot right now, not responding to these drops adequately. And yeah, let's see. There's not even a Colossi being built out of this robo, so a defensive DT or something needs to be warped on in. There they go. DT's now coming in to respond to these drops. WickedBot is getting sliced up slowly by the Templar. Meanwhile, the Prism is moving out on the map with a Colossi, so Colossi drops one of Sharkbot's key features. They are going to need to get a lot done here, though, because Sharkbot is down in workers by a huge amount. These High Templar have just been chilling here. I think they may honestly be locked in to this third base due to this fat sentry just chilling. Sharkbot says invisible men are good. They're good, Sharkbot, but I don't know if they're that good. We'll see if WickedBot drops a scan to kill these. That would be interesting. I'm not sure it's a bot that does drop scans too often. The High Templar do get pulled out, and they actually land some pretty good Psystorms to shut this down for now. Pardon me for not getting a chance to catch the Colossi drop during all this chaos. I try and not jump around too much while observing. However, we do see a drop now moving in towards the main base of Sharkbot. Once again, this is WickedBot's effectiveness with these Medivac drops. It really is a unique bot in this regard. These buildings inside the main base still unpowered, as there it goes. Bio unloading in the main. However, Sharkbot is much quicker to react. Dual Warp Prism, Feedback, Psystorm, and Colossi to shut down this drop. There's a few bio units left. However, I think they'll be dispatched fairly quickly. If Sharkbot responds to future drops like that, it should have no problem defending against them. The Prisms are juggling units now. There is batteries healing them up against these Marines, as WickedBot is moving out with just a relatively small army right now. WickedBot's army supply actually dwarfs that of Sharkbot's, but it hasn't gone for that big push rate. It just hasn't moved out with the whole army yet. We're getting Ghosts, we're getting Vikings added into the mix, though, and this is going to be very lethal, potentially a Sharkbot killer, as Sharkbot really is relying on these Prisms to juggle the units. But there we go. Vikings get a volley off. That Prism goes all the way home. Meanwhile, the Terran bot is on a ridiculous economy compared to that of Sharkbot. Sharkbot is only on 3 bases, now starting up a 4th base. It's not going to last long, though, as WickedBot unloads at this location. We'll see if it actually can cancel it. I think it should be able to, and it does. We do get a Feedback Psystorm combo to shut down this drop, but denying the 3rd base is already immense damage. The Psystorms are very lethal with Sharkbot. We see how quick it is with these Prisms. Juggling multiple Prisms is something that's very impressive and something only bots can do. And Sharkbot is doing it mighty fine as it is shutting down these drops. Another Feedback gets utilized, but here comes in WickedBot. Sharkbot attempting to build yet another Nexus. That is shut down, though, so the Protoss remains hard locked on 3 bases. And then we have got WickedBot not having that problem, going for more command centers. 3-3 on the way for the bio, as its upgrades are impressive, and it will just be able to spam out an absolute ton of units off the back of its economy. Sharkbot is trying to reestablish this Nexus. It's good to see it attempt to do that. It's going to have to make some mighty fine play happen with its fancy micro, though, when it comes to utilizing these Prisms, because it's so far down in supply. All WickedBot needs to do is attack right now. I don't know why WickedBot isn't going for the big attack. I'm wondering if it's actually waiting for these last units to pop on out before it moves out, maybe waiting for some units to, I don't know, to come back from drops, things like that. We do have another double Medivac drop heading towards the main base of a Sharkbot, but look at that. There's a Colossi already waiting to respond. Feedback goes down on another one of these Medivacs. The Colossi very well may actually fall here, and it stays alive. That's really nice for Sharkbot. Another Feedback goes down. Those Medivacs are not going to be doing much healing. Let's take a look around WickedBot's base. Oh, I'm seeing a stuck Ghost here. I wonder if WickedBot's waiting for that Ghost before it potentially moves out for an attack. I could be completely wrong in that regard, but it doesn't make sense why the Terran bot is chilling on 200 supply and not attacking in. That's a condition that most bots have. It's 200 supply, probably time to attack, but if you have other conditions like unit pooling, that can maybe cause problems. I could be totally wrong here and something else could be going on, but I'm just trying to look at why WickedBot isn't attacking in. It's a bot that we have seen go for these big attacks in the past. For some reason, it's not in this game. It's giving Sharkbot a lot of grace right now. We'll see if these units get pulled out with the Medivac potentially. Yeah, some funny stuff is going on here, and base layout is very difficult for bot authors when you have dynamic building placement. Was that no, that Colossi just barely survived some Viking shots, I think. And yeah, trades so far haven't been terrible for Sharkbot. Sharkbot has finally got up a 4th base and mining. That's going to give the blue Protoss a lot more life in this game. WickedBot still being active with its 2 drops. Sharkbot, though, is getting up more Stargates, getting up much better upgrades here. And looks like Sharkbot's actually getting aggressive now. Stalkers blinking around. WickedBot is responding to this, no problem. Bye-bye, Stalkers. And the Colossi still dropping around, but that, is a bye-bye Warp Prism. And then we have, let's see, WickedBot building a bunker that wants to expand here. Zelnaga Tower will block that, though. And then we have got +3 ship weapons on the way. So WickedBot is moving out a little bit now. We'll see if it goes for the big attack. There's still a ghost stuck in there. But, oh, Disruptor for Sharkbot gets a huge connection. So many Side Storms, so many Disruptors getting utilized. Their mass feedback just removing these Medivacs from the equation. And all of a sudden, WickedBot loses its entire ground army, basically. I don't know, there may be some Marines around getting dropped or something, but it doesn't look like it. So holy cow, we see the power of Sharkbot utilizing these casters. And man, oh man, was that disgusting. We'll see if WickedBot can potentially outpace Sharkbot, taking poor trades, remaxing, and getting back in there. But I don't know. I don't have a ton of hope right now as, yeah, we see WickedBot also unable to expand towards these 2 locations. Maganatha, a tricky map. It's interesting. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, whether we should just remove these LaughNgamez from the maps or reposition them or something. Personally, I think we should probably just remove the LaughNgamez from the bot versions of the maps. It's probably such a hurdle for bot authors to program to deal with this. Because, yeah, I'm not sure I've seen a bot actually have something specifically programmed into it to take these bases. It's such a niche use case that I think we'd be better off just removing the LaughNgamez, and then bots can freely expand there. The map would still be just as good. We do have WickedBot coming in, yet another attempt. Ghostkin, in theory, EMP these High Templar before they land their Side Storms. A Mothership's flying overhead, though. The Bio going to have a hard time microing in that time warp, but still, WickedBot is trading out reasonably well. The Mothership cloaking, though, kind of causing WickedBot's Bio just to run on in past the Mothership. And so the red Terran does get driven back. Once again, we do have more Vikings being produced. That's something that's very important to watch in this game. They're so important for killing the Mothership, for killing the Prisms. And yeah, so I do hope WickedBot makes good use of those. Once again, we do have lots more command centers being constructed by WickedBot. As it fails to expand towards these locations, it definitely could be floating a base over towards these spots, but understandably, it's kind of bugging out here. I actually saw a pro gamer the other day. It was Shin. He actually just built a hatchery, I think it was, next to this location, to the gold base, because even pro gamers can't be bothered to kill these rocks twice just to take a location. And here we see Sharkbot may be able to abuse the map a little bit here with all this dead space. The Vikings so far doing well for WickedBot. Might even be able to get that Mothership as it gets very low in HP. The Bio is kiting back against some of these units. The Vikings flying around. The Viking movement is something that I do want to pay more attention to of WickedBot, as we have DTs doing work too. Still no scans being dropped. A Viking chasing down a Prism will get it. That's a really nice pickoff. Sharkbot still hasn't been able to max out in this game, so if WickedBot can keep trading out, that will do it very well. We've got Vikings trying to dive Tempest across the map. Sharkbot does have 5 bases up and mining. WickedBot not taking any more bases because of these locations being blocked, so we may have the max bases for both of these bots in this game. We shall see, as some Marauders are microing against this static defense. The static defense has been doing a lot of work in the background during these games, but now we have WickedBot getting a nice position against Sharkbot. Sharkbot's got lots of units just moving around. These bot games are so hard to observe, as in goes Sharkbot trying to hit this location. We do have a feedback getting dropped on Ghosts all the time. Snipes being utilized on Zealots, though. And let's see, Vikings trying to get on top of the Tempest, it looks like. Feedback hitting Medivacs, though. And then there's just chaos down south here. This base is having its mining be disrupted as Sharkbot's income really is falling here. And the trades are not looking super fantastic. They're okay. Sharkbot is ahead as far as the trades, but it's down as far as the actual economy goes. And that is potentially not going to be enough for Sharkbot, as WickedBot is able to outposition the Protoss bot. Things were looking mighty rough when those good Side Storms were connecting, but I think Sharkbot just might not have been able to make enough Templar disruptors. Maybe its unit positioning wasn't the best here in order to deal with this. It's a very difficult location to defend, but look at this. WickedBot going to land the command center here. Will it turn into a planetary? No, WickedBot says that's a hot zone. I better get on out of there, as Sharkbot is in quite a tricky position right now. as its income is just so low, as it's down to 34 probes. WickedBot has another attack hitting this mining base. There is a new location going up on the right side for Sharkbot, but it's not been able to replace enough of these probes, and we're going to need to see a miracle if Sharkbot is to win this game. There is the mothership still flying around somewhere, but I don't know what Sharkbot can do to handle this. Like, probes just keep running into their death here. They do try and turn around at some point there, but yeah, just the response to these drops has not been enough. The multi-prong of WickedBot was able to bring down Sharkbot. We do have a planetary now setting up at this location. We'll see if Sharkbot is going to commit on top of this. The planetary may pick off a High Templar. That's a nice move. It looks like this base may actually die after landing, so that's a bit unfortunate. But oh, SCVs, where's the SCVs to repair? No SCVs to repair, but still, it's just a matter of time till WickedBot kills off Sharkbot. We have the snipes going down nonstop. We have the bio stimming forward. Disruptors may be getting some decent connections, but it's just not enough. It was good to see that WickedBot didn't just get stuck trying to expand here, and it is trying to take this location. I wonder if it's just like a distance thing to the bases, because it's like, hey, take this one, and then take this one. So I don't know. Never trying to take these locations. WickedBot actually just about out of money in this game, as it must be mining out or just having to replace a lot of units on these high cost attacks. But still, it would be a miracle for Sharkbot to win this game. The Protoss has a bit of an income still, but there's the Vikings picking off the last Tempest, and yeah, there's not a lot of units here for the Protoss bot. A very great match between these two. I do think there's a few things for Sharkbot to maybe improve upon to make the most of its potential. Honestly, just the overinvestment in tech, I think, is the thing that sets it back a little bit. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this match and you watched the whole thing, click that like button, leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel. If you want to try playing versus the bots, the link to that is in the description for every single one of my videos. If you want to try programming a bot, go to aiarena.net. There's a nice wiki there. There's a Discord you can join to get info on how to start programming your own bot. And what a great set of bots these two are. Really fun match. Okay, thanks so much for tuning on in. As the slow cleanup is taking place, Sharkbot's still fighting. We're pinning a few zealots, but it's all over now. Yeah, I think just the one thing I'd like from WickedBot would be scanning for the DTs, potentially. Ten orbitals, so I guess that's the cap for WickedBot. To have 10 command centers floating at a time. Classic WickedBot. As we wait for the cleanup, which is kind of stalled for some reason. Sharkbot's rebuilding a mothership, but it will get shut down. There we go. Sharkbot is dead at this point. What does it have? 2 observers. Just doing their thing. Any minute now, WickedBot? Maybe? Maybe. I saw a little attack blink on the screen. Something got attacked. This is quite strange how it's taken so long to clean this up. Bots are funny like that. Okay, some Marauders unload. Can he do it? He can do it. GG.